Hello, you're listening to ESKA Rock, and I'm here with the band Blank Channel. And how is it going? How are you doing today?
We're doing great. We just actually woke up and came to the backstage.
Yeah, we're in Leipzig, Germany, so it's all good.
And speaking of Germany, how was your yesterday's show? And did you get any rest?
Uh, the show was amazing. The show
Yeah.
was like the two shows we play have been crazy. We love to be in Germany, and yeah, we like spending time in the bus, so everything's good.
So, in the beginning of March, you've started your solo tour, and your calendar seems to be really packed until summer already. And how do you feel about that? And how was the experience so far?
We love touring. We love going to new places. We love Europe. We love United States, and we love everyone. So we're super excited to tour once again, our own shows and play with Well, Electric Cowboy, and Lacuna Coil, and tour in different places and markets. And this is just absolute dream come true to be able to play this many shows every year.
Yeah, we're also doing like a lot of headline shows this year, which is also cool. Like it has, we like those too. So yeah, really fun year ahead.
You're known for your high energy performances, and you're really energetic on stage. And how do you keep that energy up night after night on every show?
I think that's probably the only thing we know how to do it. Like when we started, we didn't really know what to do on the stage besides like playing and singing. And we just started like doing crazy stuff and being very energetic, and we kind of stuck with it. I don't know if we know any other way to perform, so it comes pretty naturally, I think.
I guess the reason is that we're not so good at playing the instruments, so we have to be good at something. So
we have to be good performers.
We kind of replace the sucking in the instruments by being super energetic on stage. I guess that's the reason from the start. But nowadays, I think we have songs that are okay. So songs and the performance, they are kind of like.
And it's also our music is like that. Like if you listen to one of our songs, or if you're playing one of our songs, it's impossible to stay still. I think
That's
you can
true.
see that in the audience as well.
And if we go back in time for 1 second, your song Dark Side represented Finland in the Eurovision, and it's been almost 2 years after the contest. And how do you feel about that performance now? And how was it to be a representative of a bit harder genre than most of the contestants on Eurovision, obviously?
Well, Dark Side is still doing fine. Like Dark Side is still at the end of the set, and people seem to love it. So I think it's still our biggest song to date. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't count it as a Eurovision song anymore. I guess we made it to the US rock radios, and it's still streaming like 30,000 per day.
To us,
so.
it's the US rock radio song.
Yeah, we don't really give a fuck about Eurovision. If they call us that, we like to perform in the middle of the what is the competition, just to perform.
Yeah, we probably do it.
But otherwise, we don't know who is there, like what is happening. We're not a fans of Eurovision, so
yeah, like you said, it was 2 years ago.
It's history for us nowadays.
Yeah, some time has passed, or obviously. And after the show, you gained like success both in Finland and internationally. And how do you feel about that? That you have such a broad reach as a band, and how do you feel about all of the fans that support you?
We love our fans. Like it's amazing. It's what we've always dreamed of. Like it was to tour outside Finland, in Europe, and in the US, and eventually the whole world. And that's what we're gonna do. And our listeners, our fans, they make that possible. Like I think it's awesome that we have such a solid and dedicated fan base. Like we owe a lot to those people, and that's why we do our best in every show, every night after the other.
And if you had to choose maybe one single moment of your career, which one would you call the proudest?
I think Wacken Open Air main stage last summer, we played for 15,000 people, and the show was around, I think, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So it was super early slot, and we were like, no one's gonna come there. But when we went to the stage, we saw all the people coming all the time, more and more. So in the end of the set, it felt like a fever dream to be on that stage and see people jumping, having the circle pits and wall of deaths and everything. And that was kind of the moment for us when I realized that this is gonna be big in Germany and in Europe and later in America as well.
Yeah. Also, another great moment was like at the end of last year, we played the Finnish like Helsinki Ice Hall, and that was like the first, if you could call it, arena show for us. And it also marked like almost 10 years, 9.5 years as a band, and everything worked as we planned. We planned when we started the band. We discussed that we'll be playing the Helsinki Ice Hall in about 10 years, and that happened. So it felt really good.
And which shows do you prefer? Do you prefer like playing some more intimate shows in the clubs, or is like arenas are your thing, or the festivals?
Everything works super well. For example, we played in Denmark for I think 300 people, a headline show in a small underground club, and that felt super special because everyone was so close to us, and it was like super intense, and everyone was super sweaty, and it felt like it felt special. But also playing in huge arenas and festivals, it's cool as well. But I think there's no like one specific way to play a show. I think every one of these is working super well for us.
Yeah, you kind of need both of those shows, and we've been playing a lot of those smaller club shows, and we really love the darkness and the intimacy we have in those shows. But of course, like any band that aims for big success, of course, hopefully in the future we'll be doing more and more arena shows.
And you've released your latest album, Lifestyles of Sick and Dangerous, a couple of months ago, and it's a really great record. I love it. And
Thank you.
If you could tell us, what message do you hope the listeners would take away from the album as a whole thing?
Well, like the album is basically, it's the story of Blind Channel. It's the story of us, like starting from this local band that nobody knows into this band that everyone in Finland knows, and even have like some success in Europe and in the US as well. So it's kind of the story of us, and it's the I like to think it as the beginning of the second trilogy. That like we did 3 albums before that, but that it's the beginning of this next trilogy. Like a lot of change. We became a lot bigger band. We got a new member and all that. So that's over there. And we also we like to write about like human struggle, personal experiences. So maybe like in all our albums, in all our songs, like there's pretty dark themes in there. But I hope that people who are listening to the songs, if they're going through like hard times or bad stuff, they realize that they're not alone with those feelings.
Yeah. And although it's a pretty fresh material, a couple of days ago you've also released and treated your fans with a new song with Flatline, and as I know, it's already announcing your 5th album. And can you talk about the song, about your inspiration behind it, and how it fits into your sound, like overally?
I think it's the future of the Blind Channel, and it all started with these 2 German writers that came to Helsinki with us to write a song, and they had this brand new way to kind of. They were thinking about that we should make a track with this Berlin electro vibe, and then we started to mess around with the hard stock kicks and those funky kind of hooks and everything. So I think it turned out to be a super wild and special song for us, and it's somehow the direction of the Blind Channel sound in 2024, I would say.
Yeah, we call it the shocker. It's a shocker song, or even you could say it's an air cleaner. Like, yeah. That's how we felt it. Like it felt special, it felt different, and it was like perfect direction for the songwriting we're aiming for, the album number 5.
Yeah. And with that song, you've also released a really great and energetic music video. And what was the idea behind it, and how was it on set? How was it to film it?
Filming the music video was super fun. Like the basic idea was just like, because the song has this Berlin kind of club feeling. Our label is based in Berlin, so we've spent a lot of time there. We visited some of the clubs, if you can say it like that. And then we wanted to get the feeling like of this very like, even there's a sense of danger in some of those clubs, and we wanted to include it in the song. Mostly like what we had in the script was just like, we want to have red lights. We want to have red lights flashing and red lights everywhere, and then somehow bring in the flatline marks and all that. That's how it started. And all of a sudden we have these mommy guys going around.
Yeah, and also the dance thing we had played a huge part in the video and also in the live sets. So we wanted to include that in the video and create this world where everything is flashing in red lights and it's super dark. And I think that's gonna be kind of the future, like vibe for us. But
we're not gonna turn into dancers. That's promise.
Hell no. But
maybe dances for TikTok would be a good idea.
Yeah, there's already going on the dance bar.
And as you said about like going to some Berlin clubs, do you have any like backstage stories or like funny stories from that experience?
Well, actually, we went to one of these clubs. I think it was called Kit Kat Club. It was in the middle of the Berlin, and we went underground there, and they was playing some industrial metal songs, and all suddenly Balboa started to play, which is our own song. So
wasn't that like a sex club or something?
Yeah,
it wasn't that day, but there was like every other day it was a sex club, but it wasn't when we went there. But that was great. Also, like when we were partying, like after many days at work, we were working at our label, like at Sony Germany, and we went to this. I don't remember the club's name, but we were there, and we were like, the last call is gonna come like in any minute now. We're just waiting for the last call and then we leave. But the last call like never came. And then we were like, what time is it? And they were like, it's 7 in the morning. And we were like, oh fuck, like when does this place close? And they said like Monday. And it was Friday. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. And could you tell us what can the fans look forward from the band in the coming months? And how do you see your music evolving in the future, like based on the direction that this last release went?
Well, we have a lot of touring coming up.
Yeah.
And I guess we also have to go to the studio on summer to finish up the recordings of the 5th album. So we're basically working 24/7 every single day, and there is no rest. But this is kind of the lifestyle we chose when we started this band. We wanted this, and now we got it. At least we're going to the direction where we can do this every day in every fucking month. But
yeah, the 5th album is gonna be like the new songs that we're gonna release when we got them ready. Flatline is a good start. It's a shocker. There's gonna be like, I think the heavy sound is gonna be there. It's definitely gonna be a metal album that we're gonna write next, that we're gonna record in the summer. So there's gonna be a lot of like live show bangers. We're approaching the album from a live perspective to write the songs that we want to keep playing live over and over again. And I think our fans are really gonna like them.
Yeah, and I know you're coming to Poland the next month. And as I know, it's not your first time in Poland, but could you tell us what can the Polish fans expect from the upcoming shows? It's like in Poznań and in Gdańsk, so 2 shows.
We played there last September or October. I don't remember which month it
That was one of the best shows of the tour.
Yeah, I think in Poland the fans are super dedicated to us, and I'm really looking forward for the shows. There's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff happening and a long set list. So
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And do you have any message that you want to share with the Polish fans?
Keep doing what you're doing. Bless you.
Bless you.
Keep doing what you're doing, and we hope to see you as soon as possible, as many times as possible.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you for taking the time to meet me.
Every time.
Thank you very much.